Hi and welcome to Mondraker TV. Out at Sea Otter, I lost track of the amount of people I spoke to talking about the different styles of bike and how it's so important to pick the right one for you. So what I wanted to do was take you through my thought process about the things that I love in a bike, what I look for, and also the bike I'm riding. Now, I've spent pretty much the last 6 months on lightweight style EMTBs. I mean, I've ridden loads of different things, but these bikes in particular have dramatically changed my overall thought on what mountain bikes are and what you can do on them. And today I'm just going to have that same conversation with you that I was having with so many people face to face at the Sea Otter Classic. Now, over the years, I have ridden hundreds, if not thousands of different mountain bikes, whether it's reviewing them or going on press camps and stuff. And there's a particular thing that I've always been drawn to. Now, if you've seen any of the videos or read anything I've had published over the years, you'll know that I've always had a thing for short travel bikes. Now, we're talking anything from around 130mm travel on the rear to 150 on the front. Now, for me, that is the sweet spot for what I look for and for where I like to ride. Basically, it doesn't desensitize the terrain. It enables me to ride literally anything. It does get a little bit choppy on the rougher stuff, but I don't mind that because I don't ride the roughest stuff all the time. So it's all right. It just basically enables me to feel the terrain, and it's very agile and responsive. And in the Mondraker range, that bike is the race. Like, it's literally a perfect bike for me. And no doubt you'll have seen some videos online about me talking about that bike. But as you can probably see behind me here, that is not a race. That is a Mondraker Neat. So this is where things get a little bit different. Okay, so when it comes to EMTBs, well, this is it. This is the right bike for me. Now, this is the Mondraker Neat. It's got 150mm travel on the rear, 160 on the front, and it's using the TQ motor system. Now this is the thing, okay? So there's a motor system that you can barely even see. It's the smallest thing out there. Kicks out 50Nm of torque and 300 watts of peak power. There's a battery in that damn tube. You'd barely even know. In fact, I've ridden this amongst people that don't like e-bikes and they've not even registered that it's an e-bike. So 360 watt hour integrated battery. You also have available to you a 160 watt hour range extender, which I'm using today because I'm carrying camera gear and stuff with me purely so I can use the battery in here for all the fun stuff. But the fact is, you can get extra range out of it should you require that. Now, here's the interesting thing with this. I'm about 92 kilograms, so in my head, I'd actually written off this motor system for me as a rider, thinking I'm big, I'm heavy, so therefore I should either ride muscular or acoustic bikes or full power e-bikes. That made sense to me, no issues at all. I just thought the lighter weight bikes are going to be for people that are physically lighter. But I've completely had to eat my words. So my first week at Mondraker was spent in Morzine. Yeah, I know, it was pretty good. And the idea was, we just had the media presentation for these bikes and there was a big sales presentation so everyone could learn the new range and actually, more importantly, spend time on the bikes so they understood them. And my boss was like, come and meet everyone and just ride. Get to know some of the bikes, especially the ones that you're not familiar with. And there we go, that'll be your first sort of week at work. And I spent probably 90% of that week, in fact, on this actual model. This is the one. And it completely changed my perception on e-bikes. Now, I spent quite a bit of time on full power bikes previously. I get them, brilliant things, absolutely brilliant. But for me as a rider, they're not necessarily what I would pick as my go-to bike. As I've told you, I like something lighter, responsive, agile. Now, yeah, this has got more travel than I usually look for. But in e-bike terms, it's a good thing because I can do a bit more on it, but actually comparatively, it feels fairly similar to what I look for in my lightweight trail bikes. And really, this has absolutely astonished me. And there's a few reasons for that. Okay, first up is, well, appearances and the motor. So the bike really, to the untrained eye, doesn't look like an e-bike. Now, there's nothing wrong with the look of e-bikes, but the thing that I love about the Rays and the love about regular mountain bikes is the slender look of them. And being able to have that in an e-bike form, to me, that's a really important thing. Listen how quiet this thing is. Doesn't sound like an e-bike, does it? Doesn't take away from that ride in the woods. This is just one of the other things that I love about the bike. It doesn't help you too much either. So if I stop pedaling, it stops giving me assistance. That's really similar to regular bikes and absolutely not how it feels if you're running like with the big Bosch motors. Those things literally pull you up the hill, but these, well, I've got to use my delicacy on the pedals to get up things. I've got to use the torque in my legs as well. It's very different. So even just looking down at the transmission, it just feels so normal to ride. It feels so natural. And that is something that I will just forever love about this system. I mean, bikes are different, don't get me wrong, but man, it's slippy today. And the motor itself is dead silent. You just don't really hear it out on the trail, and it's because you're not turning around gears. So the bigger full power motors, you're essentially got gear reduction on the inside, and that's what you turn over. That's what the noise comes from on the inside. Sometimes you'll hear them clicking, that'll be the clutch on the inside. And also when you go over the assistance of the motors, that's what you're pedaling around. That simply doesn't happen on this. There isn't anything there. The only friction you've got to overcome on this is the waterproof seals, which, I don't know, between 2 and 5 watts of power, I think they say, which you might notice it if you're spinning the axle by hand, but you're certainly not going to notice it when you're pedaling along through mud. This is what it's about. I can just hear everything. It just feels like riding a normal bike. It's just nothing like riding a full power bike. It's got far more in common with riding a normal bike, and I guess that might be what puts people off, but honestly, these lightweight systems, this TQ one in particular, is astonishing what it can do. And in terms of climbing, it basically just feels like riding a regular bike, and I mean that in a really good way, because on the full power bikes, they got so much torque that you can't always put that torque down. You have to really manage that, and it takes a lot of very intense learning to get there. Whereas on this system, it hasn't got as much torque, so it is harder to wheel spin, but it means you're putting that power on the ground. Dropping in. Ah, beautiful. Wow. So this is obviously possible on the full power e-bike, but you've got to be really careful how you manage the torque. Where there's climbs like this, we've got to be careful in that application of torque. Is much more manageable. And if you're like someone who's ridden mountain bikes for a long time like myself, your skills just transfer to this instantly. It just feels like a better you in all situations. Really is impressive. I've got another little punchy climb coming up here. Did see a trail runner when I was going the other way earlier. Could run into him, but up we go, up the limestone, and then into this amazing little tunnel. Now, this bit of trail on the regular bike, I tend to avoid between summer and about now, because it's very draggy and just actually not that much fun. But on a bike like this with a motor, and only just as well, it's not like the full power ones, I've still got to give it beans to do what I want on the trail. It just feels great. It's opened up other areas of riding at different times of year to me, and also the ability to climb stuff as well that it just hasn't been possible before. Oh, yep, it is greasy. Whee. Regular mountain bikers will know the term slow going from when a bike just doesn't want to roll along through stuff because it's a bit slow under tyre, but it doesn't matter on this. Now, friends in the US might question this, but I'm in the UK and this is what we do. I know the rules are different overseas, but we ride in all conditions, and that's one of the biggest draws, I think, for e-mountain bike technology. It's an instant motivator when it's really difficult to ride. Can't deny that. So as I was saying, this bike just really suits me. The TQ motor system combined with the 150, 160 bike, actually in e-bike terms, feels so similar to what I look for in a trail bike, the 130, 150 thing. And I just really wanted to explain that. Don't do what I did and kind of discount the lightweight e-bikes before you've ridden them. Doesn't matter what your intention is, doesn't matter what your weight is. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments underneath. I'll see you in another video soon on Mondraker TV. Ta-ra.